10 years of marriage and 17 years together out the window. It's over. I'm done. I've 37F. Forgiven mountains of lying and secret keeping over money our whole relationship. I've bailed him, 43M, out financially so many times. I let him onto my mortgage and deed. He's had multiple mental health leaves of absences from work and I've taken on the bulk of our debt since I no longer trust him with money. I knew our relationship wasn't great. I've been dealing with PPD since our youngest, we have 3, ages 8 and under, was born in 2021 and I really struggled. My youngest was diagnosed with a medical condition last November and dealing with it has made this last year the worst year of my life. I am constantly worried about him. My usual healthy sex drive went to shit and I went back on birth control, to help with my PMDD and terrible ovulation pain, which didn't help that situation. I put on more weight and realized I lost who I was. We had a few conversations in the summer about opening up the marriage and at first I was intrigued but changed my mind because I wasn't comfortable nor ready. I asked for a year to work on myself, find myself, and then we could do some couples counseling and figure out what we need since there is a huge lack of trust on my end. So during my most stressful week at work during an assessment I've been prepping for a year for, he decided to sleep with a random person. He had been sick for 2 weeks and didn't go to work that day and decided to go cheat while the older 2 were at school. He told me last night and I made him leave for the rest of the weekend. We weren't doing great but I deserved more than that. I deserved a conversation. I deserved him to let me know he wanted out. He did it so wrong and he has destroyed me. I was already in pieces and he stomped on them. I supported him. Got him out of almost $80,000 in his own personal debt over the last 10 years. Now I'm stuck with household debt because he barely worked for the last 4 years and we have 3 kids. I don't want to move from my house but it's too big for me to take care of by myself. We have 2 cats and a 1-year-old dog. I have so much on my plate right now. I was constantly communicating with him how overwhelmed I was with everything. How I couldn't handle it anymore. And he cheats at random. He's coming back Monday and moving into the basement to help with the kids until we figure this out. My mom tells me to wait until the new year to make any big decisions and not to make reactionary decisions. But our relationship is done. He forced my hand and he knew it. He knew I wouldn't be able to forgive this last betrayal. He knew I'd be done. He knew I was broken and he broke me more. It was my birthday this past week. And it's been 1 year since my son's diagnosis. I don't even understand what to do. I didn't love our relationship where it was right now but he was my rock. I told him everything. He supported me. Gave me time to myself when I needed it. He is a good dad. He was my best friend. And threw it away entirely so get his dick wet. I know I need to get a lawyer to start figuring out what I need to do but I think I need a therapist.
And my new life begins. You all were right. I made a post here last night about finding out my husband cheated on me. I found out on Saturday, by his own admission, and he said it was just one time and he regrets it and felt that the unrelated argument we were having was a good opportunity to finally tell me. I deleted my post after receiving a few, very supportive, replies, but they were also very realistic and I wasn't ready to hear it and deleted my post. But the term, truth trickling, was brought up and it planted a seed right in my gut. I was trying to convince myself it was just the betrayal of it all making it hard to believe it was just once, but he seemed genuinely remorseful, immediately messaged a therapist, putting in effort around the house, etc. We have a 16-month-old, so while I told him I don't see it working out, I would let him try therapy and eventually marriage counseling to determine if I could get over it. But I had that feeling in my gut. The same feeling I ignored for 7 years through an emotionally abusive relationship. Without the love and respect I for some reason still had for him, I saw through the bullshit. I kept pressing for more details because I knew eventually, he would slip. I was in a moment of pain and mentioned reporting the AP to his HR, something I wouldn't actually do, but I saw a look in his eyes. It seemed like he was nervous I would get her fired. So I asked again if there's any more he needed to tell me. If it was really one time, one person, and he held firm in his story. I excused myself to the bathroom so I could figure out if there was a way for me to check his message history. Not the contents, just the phone numbers because I got her number from his phone the night I found out just in case. So I brought him down to sit by my computer with me and started logging in. I told him there was a way for me to see his activity, and he had one last chance to tell me anything. He didn't. Sure enough, her number popped up. They were texting tonight. He was warning her, I knew. Deleted the messages after. Didn't seem to realize that didn't make it untraceable. Turns out, it only started 7 to 9 months ago, but never stopped. He slept with her as recently as 2 weeks ago. She's not the only one either, and he's done sexual acts at his job with another woman. I called his mom, let her know her son was on the way and why, and kicked him out. So that's it. If there's anything I need to know, please feel free. There's no reconciliation. He cheated on me through postpartum depression. Through my mom's death anniversary. Through 10 weeks straight of being sick and my daughter in the hospital twice from daycare germs. Through Mother's Day. My birthday, her birthday. There's no coming back. Only going forward. How to let it go. Why am I so needy? Today was last month. 2 years ago. 62F and 65 meters. Married 11 years when he started. I did not see it coming. I assumed that we were any typical couple. No action in the bedroom. I had gained 35 pounds. I look inside, he'd say with a smile. I looked at pics of me then OMG I was heavy. But a lot of women get heavy as we age. I realize now I should have been keeping up my body. He will not admit to anything physical. I know better. The smells of other women. He would stay up late like 12 a.m. and we left the house at 5 a.m. I didn't think anything of it. Until after. He was having sexting, chatting. I will never forget that feeling when you realize that the person you share a life with has this going on, your person. He wasn't interested in sex with me. Am I the only one that needs compliments, shared time? Does sex make you feel attractive? I keep bringing it up to him, just tell me the truth. He will deny it to the very end. I didn't do anything, he says. After I bring it up, I start nicely. Then it ends with divorce. Exclamation mark. I'd like to believe it hurts his feelings. Why? Then I feel sorry for him and want to work with us again. At times I can see she is really trying. Or is he? Our relationship has been very toxic. Something very terrible, then he will be very charming. Then shifty again. A cycle. I've let it go on for too long. But do I really want a divorce? Love hate. Love hate. Are these normal emotions? How do I make up my mind? Question to ask myself? What to look for in these actions? Please help me.